Hi guys, Mina here from Team Macy's, and this is our second iteration video. For our second iteration, I've been working on finishing up my multiple appointment cancellation story card, and was assigned a new story card, which is called the Undo Go Back feature. So what that means is that at any point of the conversation, a patient has the ability to go back in the conversation like one step and get asked the previous question or intent in case they misreplied or misanswered and or they just want to change their decision. For example, if a patient replies yes to confirming an appointment, an example here's the example of what it look like. So their bot asks if the patient is gonna be able to make it their appointment, and then they say yes, and then they go back and say they did not mean to say that. And so here's some utterances of what a patient would say, like say, "I don't understand," or previous message, or they just request to ask the question again. And then the bot will recognize that and then go back and say, to confirm the appointment again, which was the previous intent. So that's basically what I've been working on this iteration. And thank you guys so much.
Hey everyone, my name is Aljan. For this iteration, I had to handle the very frequent use case of a patient asking who or what the bot is and address their concerns. So in order to handle this, I created an intent with common questions such as who is this, what do you do, what is this for, and who are you? And as you can see, it responds back with a generic response. Now, when Amazon Lex starts this intent, it completely forgets about trying to fill a previously unfulfilled one. So this will be most prominent around like the beginning of the conversation when the reminder bot is trying to confirm whether or not the patient's able to attend an appointment. They'll ask who's texting them first before actually agreeing, and that would trigger Amazon to fulfill my intent and then completely forget about the previous one. And we want the bot to be context sensitive and know to go back and try to confirm the previous intent. But I can't actually do it over here because when we do that, this requires information on the appointment, which we can't actually put into the test by here, but we can do it in the test in the lambda function. So over here, I have a basic generic message to send out, and this is the output it's going to give out Lex. And I also have one specifically for employment, since this is the one that's going to happen most frequently, and it'll know to add will you be able to make it to get back to the flow of the conversation, and it also has the additional slots needed for the confirm intent. I also have another event just in case it can work with other intents, and that's what I did for this iteration.
Hello, my name is Colton Anderson, and this iteration I completed the minor task of connecting my previous opt-out intent to our database. I did this through several Boolean attributes, which you can see here. Stop notify stops all notifications, stop text stops just text messaging notifications, and so on. The other task I completed is a modify contact intent. This intent is for when a patient's phone number or email changes and they'd like to move their reminders there to their new address. The user will say something like, "My number has changed," or "Here's my new email," and the system will update our database accordingly. And they'll see something along the lines of, "Okay, I've updated your contact information."
So I started this iteration with a few things left over from the previous iteration dealing with the database that we're going to be using. Most of it was just documenting what I'd done so that the rest of our group could use it. But one neat little thing that I did do this iteration was make it so that when we send a reminder, it gets the patient's name from the database. Now the main focus for me this iteration was answering questions about appointment details. Things like, what time is it again? Where is it? Can you give me the address? Moving forward, we'll also want to deal with things like, what's it for? Are there any extra instructions for me? But for now, I'll just do a quick demonstration and have it send me a reminder. So let's pretend I just got a text message telling me I've got these 2 appointments. And I want to know, where is it? I want to know where it is on Thursday. Okay, great, that's where it is. What about on Wednesday? So, on Wednesday. Oh dear, Amazon Lex doesn't like my typos. So for that one, in the database, it actually has the address so that it's able to look up the address. And yes, I want to know what the address is. Let's pretend that's pretty far away from me. So what time on Wednesday? Yeah, I think I can make it. So that's what I did.
Okay, so for this iteration, I worked on the task of sending users to the scheduling service when they want to be scheduled. So basically, at this point, we're the reminder team and the other team is the scheduling team. And so we want a way to connect those. So on our end, that means when the user wants to reschedule, we find a way to send the user to the other team's bot. And basically, the way we would do this is the other team would set up a Lambda function for us, and then we would call that Lambda function whenever the user says, hey, I want to reschedule. So most of this iteration was me talking to the other team and getting things worked out on how we're going to do this. And so right now, I'm just waiting for them to write that Lambda function that I can then hook up to and send users onto that. And this is just some base code of what this is going to look like. This will most likely change. Actually, it definitely will change based on the method we're using. And so that's pretty much all I did this iteration.